Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Carmen, Chelios is trying to call, and the hotline is not ringing because, I don't know, why would a hotline work for a radio station?
Yeah.
So maybe on line one.
They're trying. I gave them the backup, which is the regular number. Unbelievable.
This guy's a legend. You don't make legends wait. If you want to meet Chris Chelios, you have an opportunity to do that. I will tell you where here in a couple of seconds. It is happening today between 3 and 5. You can go get a signed bottle of tequila from Chris Chelios today. Do we have him, Carmen?
Yes, line one.
Can you pull it up for me?
Yep.
Chris Chelios, how are you, sir?
Good, how you doing?
I'm awesome. Pleasure to have you on the show, man. I'm excited. Chris Chelios has got a new tequila out, and it's called it's called El Bandido Yankee Tequila, and it is available in Lucan's in Midtown today. And Chelios is going to be out there between 3 and 5 signing bottles. What gets you into the tequila business?
You know what? Just one of those late night decisions. I was at a golf tournament, and I met my partner Jim Bob Morris, and we're drinking some tequila, and he decided that we could make some better tequila. And 2 years later, we're into it, having a lot of fun, a lot of events, and it's great tequila. It's additive free. I don't know if you can say there's such thing as healthy drinking, but this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, because we all like a little tequila, but nobody wants to feel it for the next 3 days. Nobody wants their buttholes to be on fire when they're waking up the next day. And a lot of these old trash tequilas will do that. Now you rich guys are making new tequila, but guys like you who are athletes and healthy want a tequila without all that garbage in it. And it's good to see that some good stuff is coming out.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. There's no hangover, again, because there's no additives and it's so smooth. You got to be a little careful because it sneaks up on you. It goes down that well. So, but yeah, there's, guys my age, 61 years old, there was no good tequila back then. Now, there's so many good tequilas, and I'd like to think ours is as good as it gets when it comes to flavor and additive free, like I mentioned. And the reason why is they double filter it, they oxygenate it, and it just gives it that real smooth taste, no bite whatsoever.
Yeah. Also, nothing makes you tough about drinking a tequila that's going to give you Chinese eyes when you're drinking it. Like you're going to get all, what did I just say? You don't want to taste like, you don't want to be like you just drank motor oil. You want it to be a good tasting tequila. So I think that's very important. I gotta also think that, I've met you once or twice before. For 61 years old, God damn, you are in great shape. You're probably a guy that never really wants to put all that crap in your body. So that's got to be the most important thing.
Obviously playing a sport, professional sport, you have no choice. You got to stay in shape. So yeah, you try and not count calories, but keep it, make it simple, and it's just like I said. I think it's for any types of alcohols or spirits. Tequila is probably the least amount of calories, and again, it's all natural. And like I said, I'm not going to go out there and tell you it's healthy.
Yeah.
But again, there's nothing healthier than tequila, especially when it's additive free.
When you're a guy like you playing as long as you did, I'm sure you do a lot of things that contribute to your longevity in playing. Weren't you you were one of the first guys to take the exercise bike into the steam room, right?
Yeah, like Rocky hitting the cows in the meat factory. They invented that. Yeah. So, it just made sense to me. The more you sweat, you get all the toxics out of you. And I actually watched a guy in Wisconsin when I went to school there. His name was Denny McClain. He was a football coach, and he was the one that that turned me on to it. And it was addicting, and I've been doing it since 1982, I guess, and all my kids do it. And it's not shortcut, but like I said, the best thing to do, I think the healthiest thing is sweating to get all that stuff out of you. And it's worked so far. And like you said, I played longer than anybody, so it must be something good for you.
Do you laugh when you see people sitting in ice tubs and sitting in one of those infrared saunas for 5 minutes, and you're like, "Ooh, I feel healthy," and you're like, "Okay, pussy."
Yeah, it's become a thing, and there's this scientific information on it. It says your body does benefit from it, and so now it has become a thing, and you see more and more of these cryo things popping up, the bathhouses, and the cold tub basically is for the inflammation.
Right.
That's that it does take the inflammation. If you don't like taking meds and you got those achy bones or arthritis, if you can get in that cold tub for 2-3 minutes for 3-4 sessions, in the hour, you feel great.
Man, we're talking to Chris Chelios. Chelios was one of the greatest players in the NHL. And I mentioned I met you once or twice. I never meet you hockey related. I met you one time backstage here in Clearwater at an Eddie Vedder concert.
Yeah, I remember that one. A bunch of the Tampa Bay Lightning were there, and I've been following him for years, and a lot of good experiences, a lot of great places, and they just got off tour, and in fact, they were in Chicago just recently, and got to see a couple shows there. But I love music. I'm not the most knowledgeable guy about it, but I do love Pearl Jam, and I love going to shows, and it's been great. That's one of the benefits and the perks of being a professional athlete. You get to meet these guys and sneak backstage and have some drinks with them. It's I enjoyed that over the years too.
Yeah, and you and Eddie seem like you're from the same cloth. You seem like real stand-up straight guys.
Well, we got very similar backgrounds in where we're from, and when we both moved to San Diego at a young age, and then in the 90s, he went and did his thing in Seattle, and I took off to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, of all places. And then we hooked up in 95 with the Bulls. He was friends with Dennis Rodman, and as opposite as we might be, we have a lot of similarities, and we just hit it off and been friends ever since 95. It's been great.
It is great. He's one of the few guys, I meet a bunch of famous people over there, and I don't care, but he's one of those guys I still follow around and chase after. I'm a huge, huge fan, and he's just the sweetest guy too. So when they tell you don't want to meet your heroes, but then you meet Eddie and you're like, what a great dude.
Yeah, not a letdown, that's for sure. He's very generous. He cares. He's done a lot of things in the charity work. He's one thing about Eddie is he never could say no. So when someone asks him to do something, he's right there. And like you said, one of the most generous people I've ever met in my life.
This is Chris Chelios. He is an NHL legend. He is a 3-time Stanley Cup champion. He is going to be in Tampa today at the Lukens in Midtown, and he's going to be signing bottles of his new tequila, the El Bandido Yankee Tequila, which, from what I understand, is a big hit. I guess after the Blackhawks games, they'd say time for a little El Bandido Yankee at the end of the game.
Every goal they announced to break out the Bandido, whether it's Troy Murray or my daughter Kaylee, it's become a pretty good gimmick there. So I enjoy it. Love when the Hawks score because I know that's coming right after on the telecast.
No, I have a daughter, but she's only 10 years old. And if my daughter were to get into an area where she's dealing with hockey players and in the locker room and all that, I would probably go down there before with a pipe and maybe a couple of friends and have a talk with each player to stay away from my daughter. Do you ever do anything like that?
I don't need to. My daughter's tougher than most men, so
she did a great job. She did a great job here in Tampa. I mean, the fact that women are more incorporated into hockey and broadcasting, it goes over so well because they hire the women that aren't just good looking, but they actually know what they're talking about when it comes to hockey. And clearly, she growing up in the life knows all about the game.
Yeah, I mean, she played the game growing up. And she earned it, like you mentioned. She 5 years of college at Northwestern and journalism, and I love listening to her. Like I said, she got her lucky break in Tampa because they were such a great team. Got all the exposure, at the Stanley Cups, and she's living her dream back home, having kids and working for the Blackhawks.
Are you staying in town? The Blackhawks are here tomorrow for the Lightning.
I am not going to be able to stay. I'm actually going back for the Bears tailgate. We're putting the boat away. So I'm going to head back, down to Chicago and try and finish off.
Oh, did we lose him? Hello?
Yeah.
There you are. We lost you for a second. Yeah, we lost you for a second.
Yeah,
we got you.
No, I'm actually going to leave tomorrow morning because I have to be back for the Bears tailgate. We have the boat in the water, and it's the last tailgate we have on the boat before we store the boat for the winter. So I get my priorities straight. I know the Bears aren't off to a great start, but it's a ritual. We kind of keep the boat in the water till that first week of November and last game home game for the Bears.
What a great tailgate! Him have Chelios show up with tequila at your tailgate party
on the boat.
I may never get this opportunity to get you on the show again. This was a good time to have you on. Can I ask you a couple of old school questions?
Yeah, sure.
Nagano, 88. You got this big thing going on. Chairs are broken. Everybody's crapping on the hockey team. Did you stroke the $3,000 check for the new chairs?
A little more than 3, but yeah.
But you do. Okay, that's good. Mike Babcock, biggest asshole in the NHL?
Yeah, why not?
Sits Chelios, healthy scratches him, and healthy scratches Madonna on his last game. He had 1499 games. He had a chance to play one more game to 1500, and he sits the guy. What a douchebag move! What was it? Why was he such a jerk off?
I don't know. I've actually known him since I was 18. We played against each other in juniors. It doesn't make any sense, with the unnecessary things he did. Obviously he got his at the end with the phone thing. What he did was ridiculous. But he's gone. There's too many good people in hockey to have someone like that. And what some of the things he did to people, scarred them for lives. I'm lucky that I had thick skin, and at the point in my career, there's nothing he could do to me. But again, it was unnecessary what he did to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's so odd, man. Okay. Toughest forward you ever won against?
Dale Hunter. That's an easy one. He was my nemesis. He played for Quebec, Washington, and if I was to say anybody got the best of me over the course of my career, it'd be Dale Hunter.
And finally, Probert, Twister, Domi, who is the all-time heavyweight champion in the NHL?
It's 3 tough guys, but I got to give it to Proby. Ty Domi's going to kill me if he hears this. But Proby, there's no question Proby, and with the skill level, he almost got 30 goals one year. But, boy, you see those eyes go across, he get out of his way. This guy was and he ended up being a really good friend of mine when he got traded to Chicago. It's a shame what happened to him. But no question, Proby, if you talk to anybody in the league, he'd got to be the guy.
God, it just makes the game so exciting. I grew up in New York. When I didn't really become a hockey fan until I moved down here and the Lightning came up. I got in early and I started becoming a fan. And now I love to go. I have season tickets, and I love to see the fight. Obviously you love the game, but you love the fights. You rally behind those guys. Enrico Ciccone is still one of my all-time favorite players just because he'd get out there and just knock the crap out of people.
Yeah, he was a colorful guy, a character. He was fun to play with. I think he ended up with Chicago, too. And
Yep.
I believe I'm trying to see, someone actually one-punched him, and I think it was Cicerelli.
Cicerelli punched him from the bench.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Enrico was a good kid, and I believe he got back into TV at some point.
Yeah.
But, the game last night, we watched Colorado played against New Jersey, got a little nasty, some hits from behind. It was a good fight with San Jose finally won their first game, but there was a pretty good fight in that game. And the fans love the physical part of the game, and it is still pretty amazing that they allow fighting, and out of all the sports, there's just one sport that allows it.
Well, I think it's great. It gets everybody excited into the game. I still can't get my wife to watch football, but she loves hockey, man. Maybe because for some reason all you guys are so goddamn good looking too. This is Chris Chelios. You have an opportunity to meet an NHL legend today, right here in Tampa, between 3 and 5. He's got his new tequila, El Bandido Yankee Tequila. It is going to be available. He was signing bottles from 3 to 5. It's right there on Dale Mabry 275. The Lukens people are great people. They brought in a lot of celebrities who've got their tequila out there, and it'd be great to have you here. And man, I appreciate you coming on the show today. It is great to have you on, and you're always welcome anytime you're in Tampa, my man.
Thank you very much, and thanks for plugging the tequila.
You got it, Chelly. Good luck with everything.
All right, guys.
There you
Take care.
go. Take it easy. The great Chris Chelios. Carmen, can you handle the phone? There you go. Thank you. What a good dude, man. I said to Spanish, I go, you think he's going to be stiff? Because he's a pretty stiff guy, but he didn't sound like it at all today. Yeah, I'll tell you, I tried Mark Wahlberg's tequila when it was here. It was smooth. It was good. Like, these guys know that if you spend a little money and if you do it right, you can do it right. This guy, it played till he was 48 years old. And it's like Tom Brady. If Tom Brady's going to come out with his own tequila, it's going to be something that doesn't poison your insides. It's easy to drink, and he's going to do it that way. So I can guarantee you that this probably goes down smooth. And like he said, it'll sneak up on you because you had 3 or 4 of them, and you're like, oh, it went down fine. Then
I'm
all of a sudden,
excited.
zing.
It's been making a lot of those top tequilas
Yeah.
on like Rolling Stone. I think Forbes had their list of top tequilas. It was on there.
If you're a guy with a pristine reputation like he has for being such a great player with longevity and being a good dude, you don't want to put your name on something that stinks, no matter how much money you're going to make. So,
I mean, if they want to send us some, that's
Yeah.
in order.
yeah,
sample.
Lucan's is good like that. We can get it from Lucan.
I just sample it.
I mean,
So I'm telling you right now, I would drink this. We should get all the celebrity tequilas. We should get Sammy Hagar's, Mark Wahlberg's, Chris Chelios,
Rocks.
George
Chris
Clooney.
Amana, George Clooney.
I can tell you who the worst one is by far because I've had the Rocks, I've had Clooney's, I've had Sammy Hagar, and there was another one that
Sammy
I had.
Hagar is still making the gold.
Kawawabo?
tequila.
Yeah. Sammy's is good. George Clooney's is my favorite right now, and the Rocks is my God.
Clooney is Clooney and not Julia Roberts. Yeah, Julia
Cindy
Roberts.
Crawford.
Cindy Crawford's
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that's probably really good because the money that they have, the two of them there.
Yeah, and
Gerber
the land that they stumbled upon in Mexico as like some of the best.
stole from the Mexicans.
They had some of the best agave growing land in that area. So
What's the Rocks? Hermana?
Trace Amana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that this has got to be a very lucrative business. It's probably very cheap to make this tequila. What are you saying? We should make a Mike Calta Show
Yes.
tequila? I don't
Yes,
know.
we
I mean,
should.
I'd be into it. I was making bourbon. I'll make tequila.
Yeah.
I don't drink bourbon,
You
so
should.
I can't even tell if bourbon is good or not. You know
I'll
what I mean?
taste it for you, Michael.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd have to give it to bourbon people.
You'll
and
drink
taste it.
anything.
Yeah.
Then.
It
So you're
does-
not a.
It
Joe,
also
this is
tastes
my
like
new
gas.
urine bourbon. Will you drink it?
Oh, of course.
But tequila I like. I'll drink a good tequila.
Tequila is delicious. It's my favorite of all the liquors. I drink it straight or with orange juice. Delightful.
I can't wait to tell Pete that it's confirmed that Chelios bought those chairs. They remember there was like a big. They accused him of partying and they destroyed all the chairs and they were saying the chairs were too small and they broke and he just wrote the check and bought new chairs.
You're talking about tequila. Over the weekend, we celebrated my father-in-law's birthday, and I made some Italian margaritas.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, that's tequila with amaretto instead of triple sec. Yeah. Oh, and you put sugar on the rim.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah, see, the Italians got it way out of the Mexicans. Well, why do you want to win? Just make it delicious.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, salt.
So good.
Yeah.
Salt and then but Italian, you're like, hey.
But the margarita, and you put a little orange juice in there. That's good too because
I've
it
never
cuts
had
down
that.
on the sour. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a Cadillac margarita.
That sounds delicious.
All right, listen to me. I'm going to take a quick break, and then when I come back from break, we got a brand new open letter from Galvin.
Yes.
We're trying so hard to stay on track. We'll do it. We'll come right back. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone.